Hello. Hi. How's it going out there in the world? I am actually, it's around lunchtime out here in California, and I'm really excited to go live with you guys. So, I get a lot of questions over email about what corporate managers can do to make it to that next level of leadership. And so, lately, I've been answering those questions for you guys because I feel like why keep it to myself? Why keep it to just between me and the client? Why not share this valuable information with all of you guys so that we can really all together take our careers to that next level? So here is the question that I received. It's how can I establish myself as a senior executive advisor, as a senior executive member, a member of the leadership team? He goes on and explains a little bit more about his situation, which I'll share with you in a minute. But the long and the short of it is that you actively go out and start establishing yourself as that. So I know that he wants to know the step by step process, which I'm totally going to give you guys today, is three things that you can actually do today to establish yourself in this way. But I just want to say that even the act of actually saying, I am ready to go for a senior executive role is part of that process. So who am I? I'm Stacy Mayer, Stacy Mayer Coaching, and I coach corporate executives to get promoted into senior level executive roles. I basically give them all the tools to scale themselves to the C-suite. I am also the host of Maximize Your Career with Stacy Mayer. If you're not familiar with my podcast, definitely go check it out on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. And it gives you all of the tools and strategies that I use with my clients on a regular basis, and really actionable steps that you can start to apply today so that we can get you into one of those senior executive leadership positions. So let me read the rest of his question here. So Ken says, I have been with my company and mostly the same group for the better part of 24 years, with a 2-year time away while working for a different company. I returned at a higher salary and position. Excellent. That's a really good thing to do. The sort of boomerang where you leave your company and come back at a higher salary and a higher position. Great work. And have since that time, 2.5 years ago, been promoted and recognized well. All really great stuff. I'm leading important projects, working with executive teams, and happy and recognized appropriately. So, where is the problem? I am 50 years old and I am looking for that next big leap that can help take me into more of an executive role and give me more independence to some extent. How do I go about really establishing myself as an executive advisor, board member, or other senior executive? So, like I said, I'm going to break that down for you guys. If you have questions throughout this broadcast, please type them in. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay, and I will be there to answer those questions for you as well afterwards. I always go through all of the comments that I receive. So, the first thing that I want to point out is that he's happy, right? He sounds like he's relatively happy at his job. And this is unfortunately a challenging place to be in, because he knows that he wants to make that next big leap. He knows he could be making a bigger impact at his organization, but nothing is wrong. And so when we think about why do we actually do change, like why do we actually change? We often change because something is wrong. We change because we're not getting along with somebody. We change because we get passed over for a promotion. We decide to do something different because something bad happens to us, right? But really, the ultimate way to create change is to literally just go out and create that change for yourself. But growth is hard. Growth is challenging. Taking yourself to that next level of leadership is a challenging process. So, the first thing that I would like to advise Ken is to actually say that he wants to go for it, right? That it is important for him to make it into that senior executive leadership position. I want to share a brief story with you. I watched a Facebook Live from one of my dear friends, Catherine, who is actually an amazing coach for entrepreneurs. And she was talking about when she was in her 9 to 5, and she actually held up a picture that was at her desk that said, "Shit could be worse." So she got paid really well. She had a lot of respect, and she tried to tell herself that she shouldn't reach for more, that she shouldn't strive for more, because in all honesty, things really could be worse, right? Like we all know, and especially during times of COVID and this crisis and challenging situations that people are going through, that things could be worse. And so the way that she was able to break out of that was to actually light a fire under her own butt. Nobody was going to do it for her. She had to actually own growth as a value, growth as a tool to get herself to that next level of leadership. So the first thing she did, she went out and hired a coach herself to actually hold herself accountable to make herself move towards those goals. So the first thing that I want to offer to each one of you, and to Ken as well, is to really just say, I'm going for it, right? I am going to do this, and it's important that I make this leap now, because as he said, he's 50 years old, right? So if he doesn't do it now, when is he going to do it? Is he going to do it when he's 55? Is he going to do it when he's 58? Is he going to do it when he's 60? Probably not. The longer that we wait, the more that we tell ourselves that we should just be happy, that shit could be worse, right? So now I'm going to offer you 3 steps if you want to start to transition into that senior executive leadership role. So the first thing is, awesome, you're doing great. Like, own that. Like, people like you. You have a good reputation. Now we just have to tweak a few things. So the first thing I want you to ask yourself is, why do you want to be a senior executive? Why does it matter? And not just from a corporate ladder perspective, like it's the next rung on the ladder, but why does it actually matter to have you in a senior executive leadership position? Huh? Any ideas? If you're watching, maybe write that in the comments. Let me know. Why does it matter to have you in a senior executive leadership position? And if the first answer is, I don't know, then even more so, you need to figure this out. Why are you uniquely qualified to do your boss's role? Look at the other executives in your organization and think about what you could be bringing to the table, what ideas you could be bringing to the table. The second thing I want you to do is to ask yourself what you value in terms of leadership. So Ken also mentions later on in this email to me that he's known as somewhat of a worker bee, right? So we value our expertise, and a lot of people value us because of our expertise, right? So whatever he is good at, he can't keep doing more of what he's good at. He has to actually understand, what do I value in terms of leadership, right? What am I good at in terms of leadership, and how can I start implementing that in my job, right? How can I inspire others to do their best work? How can I motivate other people? How can I truly lead a team? How can I lead the CEO of my organization, right? So what do I value in terms of leadership? So think about that. What are those qualities that you want to start implementing right away? And then the third way that you're going to start to be seen as an executive leader at your organization is you are going to leverage those relationships. So Ken talked in the question about the fact that he works with the executive team, right? He works with these other executives and their teams, probably in a support role. So we want to transition that into them seeing you as a leader. So you're going to be having slightly different conversations with them, and they might not be in the boardroom. It might be on the side, one-on-one. So how are you going to actually leverage those relationships to change the perception of you so that people start seeing you as an executive leader? So those are the 3 things. Why do you want to be in an executive leadership position? Why does it matter? What kind of impact are you going to be able to make at your organization? The second question you're going to ask yourself is, what do I value in terms of leadership? What is it about me personally that drives me to be a leader? Where did this show up for me very early on in my life? And the third thing you're going to do is you're going to learn how to actually go out and leverage those relationships. Now, if you're listening to this Facebook Live or you listen to my podcast and you want to take this information one step deeper, then I invite you to schedule a free career strategy session with me. These are by application only. You go to stacymayer.com/apply to see if you're eligible, fill out the application, and we'll go from there. But just to give you an idea, on this 50-minute call, we're going to get super clear on what is actually holding you back from that next level of leadership. And I'll be able to answer your questions more specifically in this conversation. And we can actually put together a plan in place where I can support you to get you to that next level of leadership. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in doing, I encourage you to go out there and apply right away. And also let me know what your questions are. If you have more questions after listening to this or things that specifically apply to your situation, write them in the comments. Shoot me an email. Let me know what is actually happening for you so that I can support you to get yourself into an executive leadership position. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.